It's episode 8. Roll the intro. My apologies, it is actually episode 9, and I have a lot of work to get through this week. Okay, so that's all of the shelves and top pieces now cut to size. So essentially the whole glue up can begin. But before that, there's one more thing that I need to do. At the back, I've got to route a groove, 2 grooves, one into the middle and a shorter one over here. And this is going to be for the client to attach a light source. This is the underside of the shelf. A light source and something else. I'm not sure what it is going up over here. So they'll run 240 volt cable into the shelf like this, and attach something, and that'll run out the back and get plugged in. Now, for those of you non-Australians watching, every bit of electrical work here in Australia, basically, that's 240 volts. You cannot do unless you are licensed, and it's not from an insurance perspective, it is illegal. So I'll be making space for this cable to be run, but I won't do any of the wiring up. As I say, I'm not a licensed electrician. I can't do any of that. Also on the go today, I've just had someone drop off some timber, this lot here, and they've asked me to thickness this down to get rid of these grooves. So essentially just take it down until that groove is gone. It's about 6.5 meters worth of timber, and it's also very soft. So I expect I'm going to go through it quite quickly. I said to the guy I'm going to charge $40 for this based on what I would expect my time to be to go through this, plus a little bit extra. I don't know what the going rate is for machining, but that stack will probably take me 15 minutes to go through. But if I do a quarter, so 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour, of my hourly rate, which I'm doing $60 at the moment. That's what I'm charging people. If I do a quarter of 60, that makes it $15. Now, to take on a job for $15, that's such a little bit of money that it seems pointless to even do the job. And now bumping up to $40, I mean, again, that's such a small amount of money. Just gives it a little bit more value for me, but not so much that the client thinks, hey, this guy's taking me for a ride. And this is a part of the business that I'm very new to. I don't know what the normal protocol is for this. So going forward, I think I'm probably going to make some adjustments if I get asked to do this work more often. Ideally, I don't want to be doing these sorts of jobs, these milling jobs, for less than $50. But then on the flip side, it is a very easy job. It's easy money. So I don't want to say no to it. Anyway, these are just my thoughts on it, but I am very interested to hear if anyone out there who is operating a woodworking business and does this kind of machining has a different approach that they take to it, or what the fee structure would be. But also just what everyone's opinion is on taking a $15 job. I mean, do I just take those on because work is work? All right, that took me all of 14 minutes, almost exactly 15 minutes as I predicted. Yeah, that's all ready to go. Nice, straightforward job, that one. And next on the list is a potential new job, and there's a bit of a story behind this one. So around 3 years ago, I built a second high chair for my family because I had my second boy, and he used it for a year, and then we left to Tassie. I wasn't going to need it when I came back from Tassie, so I sold it. Then 2 days ago, that Facebook chat message that I was using as part of the sale popped up again, and that person who bought it contacted me to ask for another one. She's had a second child and she really liked that chair that I sold her, so she said, could you make me another one? And I had to laugh. It's amazing where you get work from, where the jobs come from. I mean, this was so out of left field. I'd completely forgotten about that. So of course, I'm more than happy to do it for her, and I said absolutely and put together a quote. She wanted to go with pine, and I sent that through to her, and unsurprisingly, she came back and she said it was a little bit high. Was anything I can do? See, the problem with high chairs is you can buy these online with a similar design for around $200. For me to make it using pine, and 6 hours of work. So that's a day's worth of work. That's my time. I can't see it taking less than a day. It's going to cost around $400. So it's almost double the price of a unit that you can buy online now. And I get it. Obviously, I want to do the job. It's locally made. There's a whole lot of pros to that. If there's any issues, she can come straight back. But from her perspective, that is twice the price. I completely understand why she wouldn't want to spend that. Anyway, I try to bring the price back in, but as I say, that's exactly the cost of materials and 6 hours of my time, and I can't see it taking less than that. So I was trying to work something out, and then I had an idea. All the leftover material from this reptile enclosure should be enough to make that high chair. The price drop isn't going to be that significant, so it's going to be from 400 down to 300, which is still a lot more than she'd need to pay. But now I get to dangle the carrot of it's less cost to you, and you're getting that better material, the better timber. So I'm going to send that email off today, and hopefully, cross fingers, that's the next job. Getting back onto the urn build today. I'm going to be working on the feet, and this is going to be an interesting cut. Essentially what I need to do is take this board, cut some 50 by 50 meter squares out of it, and then use this router bit to make a 10 mil cove cut. Now the sketchy part, and I'm going to take precautions on this obviously, but the sketchy part is cutting a 50 by 50 mil square. So you can see there's 50 mil. And then trying to route it. There's not much to hold on to there, but I have a plan. Okay, so it really wasn't that sketchy. I kind of had the geometry messed up. I thought I was gonna have to be routing these small blocks, but it turned out I didn't. I just had to do 3 edges, long edges, which was super safe, and then cut them into the pieces. So then these, if you imagine this is the underside, these will get glued in place like that. Some good news this morning. The client has agreed to the new price on the high chair, so I've dropped it down from 400 to 290, which is a significant drop, but all of the timber costs are all paid for from another job, and there's about, I think it's about $10 for some nuts and bolts. So essentially $280 is going to cover my time. That's essentially profit. The other reason I'm doing this is I think it's going to make an interesting video for my main channel, where I'm going to focus on building at a pace, going as quickly as I can. At $280, that's about 4.5 hours of my time covered. So the theme of the video, the value of the video is, can I build this in 4.5 hours? Either way, I think it should make for a very interesting video. A few things on the go this morning. I'm going to start by getting measurements for that high chair, that kid's high chair, as well as starting on the video idea. I've got an idea for the intro, so let's get cracking on that. Once I've got the measurements, because I want to try and get the chair back to the client today. Once I'm done with the chair, I'm going to do a dry fit on the reptile enclosure. I'm struggling to figure out how I'm going to do this glue up, so I just want to do a couple dry runs to see. And then once I'm happy with that, I don't think I'll do the glue up today, but I am going to switch back to the urn, because I should essentially be able to finish this up today if I have enough time. I've just put out a TikTok video where I highlight the fact that this is one of the reasons where the cost of custom furniture comes in, because this has taken me, what are we now, 12:15. I've been doing this now for an hour and a half, literally just planning, and this is unfortunately just a part of the process. Not that I enjoy it. So giving that support there has opened that up to the same height or same length as these shelves, and that's now, I'm happy with that. If we look up top, it's not perfect, but it's good enough that I'm happy. I know I haven't filmed a whole lot of me actually making these changes, but it doesn't make for very exciting content. It's really just me making a change, looking, trying something else, looking, etc. So this has been basically my entire day, but I'm feeling confident. I'm also going to be doing the glue up with epoxy, which I don't normally do. Normally I'll use glue, but it will give me a very long open time. I think from memory the West Systems is 20 minutes open time, so that's going to help me out a lot. I'm not going to be doing the glue up today. Now I'm going to sit on this, come down over the weekend, look, make some adjustments if I need, and then next week I'll do the glue up. The thing is, after the glue up, it's pretty straightforward. It's all from there. It's just attaching pieces, and then we're done. So this is such a pivotal point that I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to push this part, because if I make a fuck up here, I might cry, and I'll do it on camera just so you guys can see. I just got back from picking up my daughter from school. That is the end of my work week, but tomorrow I've got a pretty exciting morning. It is 7:30 and we are back at the house where we got the African mahogany branches with an ambitious task for the day. You might remember we didn't get the trunk pieces out, and that was going to be done by a truck at some point. But we've decided to have a crack ourselves with a winch and some copper logs to roll it on. And this morning we're going to see if we can get those out of the property and potentially onto someone's trailer. Now this is potentially not going to work. The logs are probably a bit too heavy for this trailer, but we'll give it a go. It's not costing us any money to try this. And then worst case scenario, if this doesn't work, then we can at least try and get the logs out of the yard, and then we can get a paid truck to come out and load them up. Now,
I cannot believe that word.
Yeah, bumper grubs.
okay, first log is up. That actually went a lot easier than we were expecting, but this next log is the real heavy one. This is going to be a bit more of a challenge. It's getting onto it on this side. Basically Egyptians at this point. All right, here we go with the big boy. Going up she goes.
No, not yet. When it's running. Yes.
All right, oh, she's on. So we're all done. That was the big log, and the trailer's still looking good. So it should be a smooth ride over to Josh to get this milled up. All right, Luke and Dan are heading off to Josh now with that main big log. I am very impressed that didn't just destroy the trailer. Yeah, that little box trailer can take some serious weight. But I'm back at home with two of the shorter logs. I don't have time to get to Josh today, but I will be dropping them off sometime this coming week.